All right, now pick the next person want to be a therapist.
Leah.
Yeah.
You pick that.
Yeah, Leah.
Leah? Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So you went through the basics. So the task is pressure relief from a bony problem. It's very simple. That's the simple task. Bridge up. Go ahead. So if Leah were to instruct him into bridging, go ahead and instruct him how to do it. So listen to her. Come on now. Listen to her verbal cues.
Okay, so you're going to put your hands to your side. You're going to push through your hands and push through your heels and raise your hips. Okay? Ready? Go. There you go.
So she basically gave him a 3-step command. You're going to push. You're going to bridge your pelvis. I'm sorry. You're going to push through your hands. Command 1. You're going to push through your heels. Command 2. And you're going to lift your pelvis. So command 3. So when you talk about whether your patients can follow 1, 2, 3-step commands, a person who's had a stroke or a head injury or some kind of brain dysfunction maybe can only process one simple task. The task might be, Gabe, lift your hips up. Okay, so he's gonna do that any way he knows how. So he just instinctively pushes and pushes. So if he needs to get feedback, now I may need to come in and do this. Okay, or I might need to take his hands and go here and here, so now he gets the idea of what he's supposed to do. So you can teach your patients sometimes what to do without telling them verbally what to do. You guys following? Okay. Now, there's a concept of rhythmic stabilization and alternating isometrics. So here's what it looks like. So basically, as you lift your pelvis up, hold it there. Don't let me push you. Hold. So I'm basically giving him rhythmic. So I'm rhythmically pushing him, and he has to stabilize and relax. If I'm doing alternating isometrics, up. So I'm going to push down and then up. Push. So you hold your pelvis right where it is. So no matter where I'm giving him a force, his muscles are contracting. Alternating isometrics. Rhythmic stabilization is multi-directional perturbations. Okay? Good. Incorporate the ball for his next exercise. Okay. So now we're going to progress him to another higher level task. You could do this in some patients in a hospital. More than likely, you're going to do it in an outpatient setting. Okay? So have him put his feet up on the ball.
Yep.
All right, so now he has a surface that's unstable, okay? And if you take away his base or his hands, if you say put your hands in your stomach, so now he has nothing but his pelvis and his core to do the work. So what we're going to say is go ahead and lift your rear end up and down. Okay? So if I want to progress him further, he could lift up and now curl the ball back. So bend the ball back and then go back out and down. That's 1 rep. Lift up, instruct him.
Curl back and back out and down.
Okay, now if you want to make it harder, you can have him stay up. So go ahead and have him stay up for 5 reps.
Okay, up and curl and out. Back in. 2 and out. 3, 4, and last one.
And relax. Okay? So now I want Lee, I want you now to have him do that. And I want you to apply that concept of rhythmic stabilization and alternating isometrics as he's doing.
You ready? All right. Okay. Up and in. Okay, the isometric.
So it becomes difficult. He has to contract harder through here. Now you can go down to the surface here, and you can. Your question?
Do you do it at the knees or like at the thighs?
Yeah. Yep. So as he's coming up, go ahead. Ben, keep going. So as he's here, keep going. I can come in and I can do this here. It's more difficult to perturb him on his body distally. It'd be easier and probably better if you. Well, if you did this, go ahead. So he's able to use his muscles to make the adjustments while this is moving. Okay, but you can't. You can be creative. I mean, it's not wrong. You just have to get your patient feedback and find out what they can do. All right. Anybody have any other ideas of what you guys would do?
What about pulling versus pushing? Is there a difference in how you receive the information? Like, is pushing better for tactile stimulation? So what I'm saying is, she seemed like she had issues getting hit. She might not want to go underneath.
Oh.
Since he's wearing a belt, could she pull and push, do everything from one side?
No. Go ahead, come on up. You don't want to just, first of all, you never want to use a belt. So I mean, you use your hands to sort of do this here, and then my hands are sort of on his PSIS, so I'm here. Okay, so I would definitely go into the bony area and push it up and down.
For isometric, can you set a weight on his hips?
No. Well, it depends. I mean, like, you mean like a 10-pound weight?
Yeah.
Kind of
Or
a
50
sandbag.
pound weight.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. What about tying? Like,
I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't put it here because if anything, he's going to get more stability. I wouldn't put a weight. You mean like here, like right across here? Where do you mean put the weight where?
Well, that would
Somebody
be,
grab
Like,
that.
so it's putting, he's got to push weight up. with
well,
his
that would be
glutes
for
down.
strengthening then. That wouldn't be for stability.
I mean, it doesn't have to
It'd
be
for
right
str-
over
it'd
his
be for
hips,
str-
but, like,
yeah.
you know, like right here. Boom. Then he
used to
pushes
be
up,
able to
you have to
have the
push
gym
that
all
weight
time.
up. It's actually weight.
25-pound weight.
What's the
I mean, I guess for
Yeah,
strengthening,
it
it
really,
hold
it
to-
probably the 10 pound. Good question. Good question. The quick question: the poundage of the 10 pounds probably wouldn't be enough, but if you had a TheraBand and you wanted to hold him down and had him do it really easier with a
Give
TheraBand.
him a 45-pound weight.
You said tie him down.
yeah, if you had a TheraBand, you could tie one side and hold the other side.
But you're holding it, you're not exactly just stringing it down.
Or if you tied it down.
You would
That
ju-
was
you would
my
just- you would
question
just
though.
brace, yeah.
What is the rules with like being able to restrict the patient? Say his abductors were weak and he couldn't. Go ahead and put your feet back in the sideline or hook line position. His right abductor is weak, so his leg falls to the right. He can't keep it up to do it.
Oh, okay.
So now, can I use a gait belt to tie his feet to his knees together? Or you're not allowed to restrict the patient like that?
No, you can. I mean, a person who a person who has a stroke, who has weak rotator, so it's going to be a weak internal rotator. It's going to be a weak adductor. So what'll happen is the limb itself will fall toward me. It'll fall like that because his muscle here and here can't bring him up and then keep him here. So the question is, can you tie it and hold it there while you do an exercise? Yes, you can. Or the person can put their hand there and now hold and lift up. They can do that. So there's many different ways. Absolutely.
But what's the rule for putting, as long as the patient is okay with it, you can do it?
There's no rule. Yeah. You can.
If you're not restraining, just restrict.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah. I mean, if you restrain, for
You can't
restraint, you
restrain.
can't restrain
You
them.
can restrict.
Correct. You can restrict, but not restrain. Yeah. All right, guys. Now, let's. So you guys feel okay with this? So this is just basically, if I asked you on a practical, show me supine progression of exercises. So from simple would be in close, both feet, hands down, up. Harder, take away the hands, move one leg, go. Okay, harder, put an unstable surface. Harder, keep the legs, keep the core contracted, move the ball in and out, okay? And here's like this. So if I want to have them do upper extremity movements as well, okay, so people who do a chopping motion, so they call these chopping diagonals or just chopping. So chopping wood, doing like a backhand in tennis from here, diagonal, a baseball swing from here to here, or if you're left-handed from here to here. So if I say bring the ball up and raise your arms, 1, and then chop and go down, 1, 2, so do 5 reps, 3. So now he's incorporating upper extremity, lower extremity. Okay. All right. Questions?
Assisted.
What was the point? What was the point of moving the upper extremities to make it more difficult, or just to get them moving?
To make it more difficult.
Okay.
To make it more difficult. So if you're exercising one limb, that seems you're exercising both limbs. If you're doing just the upper body or just the lower body, that's easier than incorporating both together. Okay, so you can progress, you can make a progression of difficulty.
Would that be considered the D1, D2?
Not really. Yeah, that's something different because you got to go through the actual pattern of the D1, D2, which is you'll get that one there.